Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy GZTV. We're back, and we're here with a new show. It just came out last Sunday, but I decided to watch it every Wednesday. It's going to pretty much take the place of Dave, because it's dropping every week, so that's perfect. Perfect timing, so awesome. The Weeknd is obviously featured in this show, so I wanted to check it out. You know, being a huge music fan, especially a big Weeknd fan. I love what the Weeknd has done with it in his career. He's an absolute icon. No pun. I mean, he's an idol too. But a lot of things. I've been seeing reviews on the internet and things that nobody's talking about is like how funny it is. I mean, this is a secret kind of weapon that the show has. And shout out to Decider. I'm gonna be using their page to kind of bounce ideas off of. Um, that likely isn't the focus for a lot of people watching the show. The core, at the very least, the selling point of the show is the budding bad romance between Jocelyn, played by Lily Rose Depp, a pop star in need of a comeback, and Tedros, played by Abel Tesfaye, aka The Weeknd, a club owner she meets by chance the night a photo leaks of her with cum on her face. Hey, we all watch the show. We're adults here. I mean, this is a very explicit show. Like, I feel like this is going to be one of those shows that just doesn't hold back on anything. Tedros is a weird guy. Tedros is a weird guy with a cheesy effect, a true believer's love of pop music, and a sexual magnetism that's somehow harder to resist for how easy it is to see right through. The episode ends with him rectifying his critique of her singing voice by erotically asphyxiating her, jabbing a knife through the fabric, covering her mouth is sliced open, and telling her, "Now you can sing." Like, whether that appalls you or turns you on, it's gonna make an impression. Like, that's his whole thing. But 1/3 of this series premiere, titled Pop Tarts and Rat Tails, which really pissed him off at Cannes, is a light farce in which a handful of broad comedic characters in Jocelyn's inner circle, all played by people who look like they're having a good time, conspire amongst themselves to keep Joss's phone away from until they strategize a response to the leak, field the arrival of a Vanity Fair reporter and a top Live Nation executive, prevent an intimacy coordinator from doing his job at a suddenly topless photo shoot, and indulge in irony and ribaldry generally. And I really like how this show just like highlights what goes on in the industry, This is shit that happens all the time. And this is hard to articulate, but unlike certain cringe comedies about the very wealthy in this vein, your White Lotuses and what have you, every single joke doesn't seem like it's in a hurry to beat you over the head with how awful these people are. The awfulness just kind of emerges organically from the manipulative crap they're all trying to do while the jokes get told. That is to say, it's a bunch of funny assholes playing phone keep away from their boss until they can figure out how best to profit off her misfortune. Jane Addams is the real standout here as Nikki, a gleefully profane and cynical record company executive who kicks off the episode by talking about how sexy mental illness is. After all, it's the only way any woman as famous as Jocelyn would ever sleep with any of the regular Joes who lust after her. Her responses to the video range from calling Jocelyn a brazen little minx to wondering aloud about what's going on in this society when you can't enjoy a good old-fashioned facial anymore. Didn't that used to be fun? Wasn't that a hot date years ago? Like, that's literally what she said in the fucking episode. And it's just kind of funny how she, like, talks about this shit so insensitively, and that's kind of like the comedy of it, I guess. Joss's plight prompts Nikki to reminisce about getting fucked in the ass in the Capitol Records building stairwell and then walking straight into meetings when she was the star's age. "Yeah, I remember," groans Eli Roth's concert biz bigwig character Andrew Finkelstein. Eli Roth, not Eli Roth. Did I say Ellie? Hope not. I was the one fucking you. Yeah. Like, I feel like he means like literally fucking her in the sense of like having sex with her, but at the same time he was fucking her as in like the record, being a part of the record label and like fucking her over, Like, all these people realize how corrupt the entertainment industry is, and they're kind of just laughing about it and bonding with each other over it. Actually, now that I think about it, the jokes pretty much all serve to minimize the alleged gravity of what Joss actually did. I mean, nothing wrong, and to snipe at the whole PR and press ecosystem that feeds off such scandals. When Joss's managers Haim, played by Hank Azaria, and Destiny, played by Divine Joy Randolph, discuss the photo and he wonders why she'd do this, Destiny replies simply, he was probably fine as shit, he had a big-ass dick and it felt good. Like, The way these people just casually talk about these things is just so funny to me. Simple as. I mean, Harry Neff's journalist character Talia gets referred to by the proudly cancelable Nikki as making her feel like she's in communist China, while she has a subtly catty back and forth with Joss's publicist, played by Dan Levy. Joss, meet Talia from Vanity Fair, one of the great pop culture writers. I do profiles. Oh, we do profiles. Yeah. This whole tendency caps off with Joss's reaction when they finally do relent and show her and us the photo. I mean, I feel like it could be a lot worse. All this build-up just to be waved away in 2 seconds? Definitely done. And while everyone agrees with her because they're psychophants, she's also like, right? It really could be a lot worse. I have a point to make here, but first I want to tie in something else I hadn't heard about the show, but which is, in a way, related to all the piss-taking gags. Tedros presented as, kind of a dork, you know? Thanks to the way this episode introduces us to his character, he will forever be associated with the phrase rat tail. Not exactly what you want to do if you want to present some malevolent figure as a symbol of glamour. Ditto the way we watch him or her saying hello angel to Jocelyn, a line so corny she laughs at it no matter how hard he practiced in advance. On it goes from there. His goofy black trench coat, his frustrated use of the phrase boner killer when his initial stairwell hookup with Joss is interrupted by her assistant/bestie Leah, played by Rachel Sennott. His whole extravagantly sleazy Hollywood vampire vibe, which Leah describes as a little rapey, only for Joss to joke that she kind of likes that. Note that writer-director Sam Levinson is working off a story he developed with co-creators Reza Fahim and Tesfaye himself. And by the way, studios pay your writers, so everyone involved in the final product seems in on the joke. Yeah, fucking writer's strike, baby. So my point, based on all of this, the constant joking at the expense of the scandal mill and the people who get paid either to feed or defeat it, the casual assertion that's what's depicted in the photo as MBD. The real issue is that it got leaked, and that half her entourage is trying to treat it as a glass half full situation. The depiction of Tedros as a Kramer-esque goof who nonetheless has the Kavorka. I have a hard time looking at the idol as exploiting any of this behavior, let alone endorsing it. It seems pretty clear where the show stands on all that. For example, can anyone take the ranting about intimacy coordinators being a pain in the ass done by Joss's creative director Xander, played by Troye Sivan, seriously? Given that at no point are any of these people treated as being serious? Or his counterintuitive insistence that Joss breaking the intimacy writer already agreed to is about bodily autonomy, when he then spends the rest of the episode's first act hiding some pretty important news involving her bodily autonomy from her. Again, I feel like this is all pretty clear, you know? There's not a lot of aspects in the show that are taken seriously. None of this is to say that it isn't sleazy as shit. Oh, it's hugely sleazy, but it's a familiar kind of sleaze. Visually, sonically, thematically, locationally, in its use of comedy and nudity and perverse sex. This is an erotic thriller in the mode of the genre's semi-satirists, Brian De Palma and Paul Verhoeven. The wider genre is very much in vogue at the moment, but despite watching a lot of horny television, like Euphoria, made by the co-creators, I haven't seen anything else working in the specific, spectacularly tasteless mold. I, for one, am all for this show. Because given sufficient skill, and true, it takes a lot to reach sufficiency, you kind of can have your cake and eat it too with this stuff. You can, as Nikki says in her opening woke has gone mad style monologue, let people like sex, drugs, and hot girls, while also making them uncomfortable with it and even making fun of them for liking it. The real trick, though, is to then make them sit with how being made to feel uncomfortable adds to their enjoyment. It's an echo of the way Joss falls for Tedros, Here's a woman who's surrounded by people who make money off her from the moment she wakes up nearly to the moment she goes to sleep. The first time she has her house to herself, she jerks off pretty much immediately, since when else would she have the chance? Now she comes across a guy who's really got no business inserting herself into her world, but he believes in himself, since to be that odd, you kind of have to. He talks up the value and virtue of pop at a time when her belief in it and herself is at a low ebb. And yes, he breaks out the knife play on the first date. In art as in life, tweaking your nose at the taboo can be a thrill, a nice place to visit. The question both Joss and the audience have to ask is whether you want to live there. Fortunately, that's the question the show appears to be asking too, and yeah, hopefully, I mean, hopefully we see more episodes like this, kind of the satirical industry mess, all that stuff. I really enjoyed this episode. I mean, it was pretty simple. Not a whole lot was happening, but again, they're kind of like setting things up for the rest of the show. And I can't wait to see like her career. And obviously, The Weeknd's dropping a soundtrack for this. So, as a music fan, I'm kind of obligated to be excited about this show. He already dropped he already has tracks with Future, Playboi Carti, and Madonna on this fucking thing, so that's really cool. But leave a like, comment, subscribe, guys. Every single week, every single Thursday, we are going to be reviewing this show. I know it drops every Sunday, but we got to be on schedule. We got to have like a schedule, an agenda here. Up next we have the Walking Dead review, but I'm definitely watching Dexter today. Maybe we'll watch Avatar: Way of Water. I'd be excited to see that. So, yeah, they just put that on